Hello fellow DMLer or DMLite. I actually don't think there's a word to explain that, but anyway, if you didn't already know, there is a special thing going on in Otto's Lotto this week where you can get pieces of the rare Cappuccino Dragon. Actually on my first spin here I got 4 pieces of it, which was pretty insane, but I'll take it. So we have the Cappuccino Dragon in Otto's Lotto. As you can see, you watch ads, and when you watch an ad, you have a chance of spinning the wheel, maybe getting food, portal gems, some gems, and what might be more important to some people, pieces of the Cappuccino Dragon. Now, you do need 40 pieces of the Cappuccino Dragon, and each of these that you can get when you hit this red zone this time will get 2 pieces of the Cappuccino Dragon. So it seems to change depending on, I don't know, how big it is. And because that one that I just hit was a really tiny space, it gave us 4, which I'm a big fan of. So it seems they made a very slight change to how this actually works, because I haven't seen them give own, like, a set amount of pieces like that before, but maybe I'm just going insane. But either way, the Cappuccino Dragon, I was lucky enough to actually be given this dragon a very long time ago, back when it was available in I think it was a divine chest. Was it the original divine chest? Or the second one? It was one of them either way. But the Cappuccino Dragon, really cool looking dragon. I mean, look at it. What dragon has a head like that? What even is it? I don't even know how to explain what this dragon is. And this is like one of my favorite kinds of dragons that is just so weird. And you can see the beans in it. The cappuccino beans. How weird. Strange little dragon. I do like all the smoke effects. But either way, if you want to get it, you just need to keep watching ads, spinning that wheel, and hoping that you get lucky. And it will last for longer than just a day. So I don't think that you're going to be missing out just because of that. There is also a bundle out for the Butterfly Dragon today. If you've ever wanted the Butterfly Dragon, I waited such a long time for that Butterfly Dragon to get released for the first time. So I'm happy that they're bringing it back a couple more times, because I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to just want a dragon really bad, and it never ever happened. I understand the feeling, my friends. But we also have the new Bottomless dungeon to take a look at, as usual, and honestly the main thing that I'm usually pretty interested in with the Bottomless dungeon, oh, we've also got boss challenge, let's do that quick. But the Bottomless dungeon, the main thing I like are the weekly deals. Like, sure, if there's going to be a cool dragon in it, we'll see what happens, but most of my weekly attempts don't go too well, because I've been pretty busy, so I haven't been able to log in that frequently. But the main thing I like are these special deals. You can see we didn't get to do many resets last week, which is kind of a shame. But this week it is indeed the silly little Scribble dragon, which we already have this guy as well. But it's basically a gigantic pencil covered in other pencils, and it's like, it is literally a purple pencil. Purpley pinky pencil anyway. But anyway, dungeon shop. Of course we could save up for the snow ghost, but some of these deals are too good to pass up, in my opinion. If you need more pieces of the Medalist Dragon, you can buy them in here. If you want to buy the Uncle Sam Dragon, you can for 1,000. I actually haven't found one of these to buy yet, because I've had every single one of them. We'll see. But then we have some other deals. So if you wanted an Armory Dragon, you can buy pieces for him. Dragon piece tickets, you get 4 of them for 200. This is really tempting, because the last time I spent my dragon tickets, I actually got really close to getting something valuable. So I think I'm going to hold off on this and wait, because 200 tokens is still quite a lot. Food, portal gems, but then we've got Relic of Breeding. Now, I really, really like these Relics of Breeding, because especially if we've got, say, chain breeding events and things like that, these come in majorly handy. Maybe not all at once, because it decreases breeding time, which means you need a lot of hatchery slots. But I'm going to take all 3 of these. So that's 300 dungeon tokens gone. So even though Relics of Farming could be useful, I'm not going to take them. Let's just hope that we can manage our food properly. It's just dragon piece tickets, 4 of them for 200. It's expensive. It's expensive. Especially if you don't log into the dungeon very often. It ends up being quite difficult to gather the amount of tokens to make up for what you spend every week in the special offers section. And we've got a bunch of defeat quests. Damn, I hate it when we get defeat quests. Like, really, really very much hate it. Because ideally, when we're starting off a dungeon week, I would want to have... what's some who has? I would want to have... just use a weak attack or use a normal attack quest. Because then I don't have to kill the first waves of enemies. Although at the same time, killing the waves of enemies does mean that we're gonna get more kill bonus. And kill bonus is the thing that's gonna give you more HP and more attack. So I guess it's a fair trade-off. But we're not gonna get a whole heap of points this time because of this. Like, perform 4 weak attacks. If they just kept giving us that over and over and over again, we could just farm a specific dragon and it'd be easy peasy lemon squeezy. But we don't have that choice this time. Especially when we use the divine upgrade on our other 2 dragons, because then they get the attack damage of Nezha. And then they demolish the first few waves. See, we're at the point now, level 112 where it's going to stop happening. But, alas. So we need to defeat dragons with normal attacks and perform weak attacks. So if we use our 3rd dragon here just to do the weak attacks, it should be Gucci. Gucci, Gucci, goo. Although, looks like these dragons are going to die pretty fast. You see, when you go against shadow dragons and plant dragons and things like that, that's when it starts to get a little bit tough. Because the 2nd tick of damage is going to kill you. Like, these dragons can survive a single hit from an enemy, but they don't really tend to be able to take damage over time attacks. Which is why it sucks. Sucks a major baloney. Major baloney. But whatever, I guess we'll keep letting our final dragon here die. Because we can still do weak attacks with him. And of course they're all trying to murder the poor guy. God damn it, dude. Oh, whatever, we'll boost him. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I'm not someone that's too into, like, min-maxing the dungeon stuff anyway. Like, putting Nezha in the first slot, sometimes I'll do it. If I'm lazy, I won't. But if we ever get Nezha fully upgraded, this will be the best strat for us to use. So, maybe we should just do it to sort of remind us that we're supposed to be doing it like this. So defeat 2 dragons with 1 blow, defeat 3 dragons with a normal attack. So I'm just going to boost Sani here. And we're going to wreck some face maybe. There you go, 3 of them dead. We get some normal kills down the drain. But I'm pretty sure if you've ever seen the dungeon before, you get the gist of how it works. By now. I mean, the thing is, the dungeon is something that if you want to get good value out of, you have to be doing it, like, all the time. So I imagine most people are probably pretty familiar with how everything works now. Oh, 8 normal attacks. See, that's wonderful. Give me more of that. Give me more of that. All of these dragons sort of resist us or are super affected here. So I guess we'll just sack our dragons to get some normal hits done. Sounds fine. But, you know, since they're changing Otto's Lotto very slightly and things like that, at least it shows that they're giving it some sort of, I guess, thought into making small changes rather than just drastic changes. And plus we know that we've got a new event on the horizon, which is going to have that new element, or have something to do with the new element. So maybe they're testing things out now, before we get the new stuff. I know that some people with Otto's Lotto in particular get pretty annoyed when they just get unlucky on the drops that they get. What the heck? Hit them! Oh, it's so buggy. Why you gotta do this to me, game? But I know with the old version, some people were pretty frustrated with it because it was like, you get bad luck and then you just sort of get screwed over. I'm not sure if this new version of Otto's Lotto, well, it's barely new, But this new change, I'm not sure if it really makes any difference. But at least they're looking at it. Right? Better than nothing. Better than nothing. I still don't think the dungeon is perfect, far from it. Mainly because, you know, I still think the drop rates on the dragon is really low every week. Ugh. I'll take 85, that's fine. I'll take 85 sometimes. That seems like a good deal, right? Because I was considering, if we take the bigger bundle, maybe we can get more value, but 85 ain't too bad. Maybe there's should be some sort of graph to be able to min-max whether it's better to take the tokens or take the stepping stones. There might already be one and I've just not seen it quite yet. But either way, that is going to be our first bit of the dungeon today. Of course we could come back in 10 minutes, do it again, then an hour after that, do it again. That's just how the dungeon is, my friendos. Just an endless grind. But do you have any idea how much more fun the dungeon would probably be if we didn't have to wait 6 hours every time that we were doing it past like the 3rd or 4th reset? It would be so much more fun. Just endless dungeon battles. And it's like you don't even gain that much because all that the dungeon tokens are used for is the in-dungeon shop dragons and the weekly deals, right? So what's wrong with letting people just do the dungeon infinitely? I don't see the problem with it. Obviously, probably Gameloft disagrees with me there. But I want to see it happen one day. I know that DML likes to hold back on what it likes to give its players. I know that. I know it tries to stilt player progression. I know that. But I'm still holding out hope that one day the bottomless dungeon is going to become truly bottomless and truly endless. Because at one point that dungeon was called the Endless Dungeon. But it's not endless at all. In fact, most of the time it ends after like 3 minutes. Especially if you don't have defensive dragons and you just go in like all guns blazing and just whack everything. Maybe you don't have any defensive dragons, in which case you have to. But I have faith that one day they will change it and we will get a truly endless mode in DML. How likely do I think it is? Probably about 2%, but I'm holding out on it. Alright? I hold out faith and hope, even if there is no good reason to. Maybe that's my problem. I have too much faith. I always used to call myself a pessimist, but maybe I'm just too optimistic. How about that? That's like 10,000 IQ brain right there. But anyway, for now, after we finish ascending this poor monkey boy, what grade do we get? Mediocre. Disappointing, dude. But I think that's going to do me for now. So if you want to get your hands on a free cappuccino that is not going to actually kill you due to caffeine, go ahead and get it in Otto Lotto. There's not a whole lot else going on in DML at the moment, I don't think, but we do have new events coming this week. We've got the Halloween stuff coming, so make sure you remember all of that, and don't forget it. So for now, I love you. Thank you for joining me on this fine day, and until the next time I see you, take care of yourself.